Hey there, folks. Ed here, and today, John and I are taking a trip down memory lane to look at the real estate values in Massachusetts over the last 2 decades.
Yeah, that's right, Ed. In 2003, 20 years ago, the average sale price of a single-family home in Massachusetts was $376,000, and that felt expensive at that time. Fast forward to today, and we've witnessed a whopping 100% increase, crossing the $750,000 mark.
In the communities we serve in and around Boston, the values are much higher, between $1 and $2 million or even higher. And before we dive into prices, let's look at inflation and median household income.
When we look at the U.S. inflation rate, you can see a bit of history with that big spike during the pandemic. The cumulative rate of inflation was 67.2% from 2003 to today. So that $376,000 house should be worth about $629,000 today just to keep up with inflation. And then keep in mind, the Massachusetts median household income is up 83.5% in that same period, outpacing inflation.
John, I vividly recall a robust market between 2003 and 2005 in our early years of real estate. It was a pretty busy time.
Yeah, it certainly was. And then the prices began to fall in 2006. The American subprime mortgage crisis unfolded between 2007 and 2010. Massachusetts wasn't immune. And the average home sale values really began collapsing in 2006, and then 2008, 2009. And then what was interesting is they rose again in 2010, but only to fall one more time in 2011 at less than 1% statewide.
In 2008, the stock market crash drove the real estate market down 15.3% nationally, according to the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index, although Massachusetts weathered that storm a little better with just a 9.25% dip.
Yeah, and that 6-year decline from 2006 to 2011 was a decline of 13%. So overall, that 13% decline was statewide for that period of time. Ed, you and I navigated through those times in real estate fairly well. It was tough though, but I always felt as if Massachusetts, especially Metro Boston, held its ground much better than most other areas.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, take a look at this graph we have coming up that compares Boston to Miami, to New York City, to LA. Massachusetts definitely weathered the storm much better than many other areas.
This Case-Shiller Home Price Index, Boston's in blue, then we have New York, which is in orange, Los Angeles, which is red, and then we have Miami in green. And you can see that right there. Los Angeles and Miami really kind of had this big bubble during that time, and it was a more unstable area in those LA and Miami markets.
Another version here is all transaction house price index for Massachusetts, a similar state of New York, and a volatile Florida, as well as a volatile California.
And when we're looking at this chart, you can see Massachusetts is in blue, New York State is in orange, and then you have Florida in green and California in red. And again, you can see that bubble. Massachusetts certainly managed those ups and downs a little bit more gracefully than some of the other more volatile states. Now, since 2012, Massachusetts real estate has been on a steady climb. We saw multiple offers, that was very common, and the average days on the market until an accepted offer went from 92 days in 2008 to 41 days in 2019.
And take a look at this graph illustrating the single-family home sales from 34,000 in 2008 to over 54,000 in 2020 and 2021, which were the pandemic years. The market certainly proved to grow and be resilient.
Sorry for so many graphics, but at 12360, we're pretty visual. The following graphic we prepared tells the 20-year story in a little bit more of a compelling way. It shows the year-over-year rise and fall of the values in the average sale price, and also we included the median price for the Massachusetts home sales. You can see those specific increases and decreases, such as those declines that we were talking about in the recession of 2007 through 2009.
And it's worth noting that during the housing crisis, in many cases we reviewed, it only took 3 to 5 years for many of these homeowners to recoup the value of their home, mainly if you're closer to Boston and the surrounding communities. After 2011, we saw a steady rate of increase of about 4% for 8 years, up to 2020, the start of the pandemic.
Yeah, and I got pretty nervous then. I thought we were all going to be out of a job and out of business, but we learned very quickly that we were going to be very, very busy for a few years. As shown on the chart, there were double-digit increases in 2020 and 2021. Over the last 4 years, the average annual increase in value was 10.18%. So there you have it. We will save what we see ahead for 2024 and 2025, along with the factors that make owning a home in Massachusetts a wise investment, for another video. It's been quite a journey, and we're excited to see what the future holds for the Bay State's real estate market. Overall, Massachusetts has always felt like the place to be.
So all the links for these graphs are in the description, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear from you, and until next time.